Thank you for joining us on the Evolve Your Brand podcast. I'm your host, Ollie Amirkhiz. I'm the mortgage advisor that you've been looking for and you haven't had. I just want to give a huge shout out to Icon Industries, Shane ×3, because you love yourself so much, you went and hired 2 other people. Steven, love you, bro. I named the eel after you because you're not going to be alone. Today, we have a very, very special guest. Ellie, welcome. How are you doing?
Oh, very good. Thank you, Ollie.
I'm really, really excited that you're on the show. We're going to have some fun. So you have an exciting app that you just recently launched.
Correct.
Okay. So why don't we jump into that? Why don't you tell us a little about the app and how come you decided to create it?
Sure. So I'm typically a private person myself. And I recognize that there is a missing component in allowing people to connect with businesses, because when people go into a business, they have to give typically their email address, their phone number, and these days people have recognized that this is not a thing that they want to do because of spam and everything else that happens as a result of giving those details. So I thought, okay, well, there is something that we should have in the market that will solve this problem, and ITSA is that solution, which basically allows a person to communicate with a business without actually giving their email address or phone number. They allow it to do that connection anonymously, privately. And so the full connection happens with the business. They're able to exchange information back and forth, send multimedia, chat, everything, but without actually putting forth their email address or phone number, which people don't like to do. And so from a business perspective, now they're able to connect with more people because previously, there's a small percentage of people that would enjoy or be okay with giving their private details, but the greater percentage would not be. So now a business can connect with more of their walk-in customers because the app solves mostly a brick and mortar retailer problem. People go into a store and they see something, they take a photo, they leave, and rather than connect with the business or even talk to a sales guy because they're shy, they don't want to do that. A lot of people, these days. So yeah,
it's funny that you bring that up. How come you said that people are shy and they don't ask questions?
Well,
I agree with you. I'm just curious on.
Well, consider that a lot of people these days are sitting together as a group of friends, and instead of talking to each other, they're actually texting each other. And that demonstrates the argument, that says that, hey, people these days, rather than be vocal or have a discussion, I mean, it's not everybody, but it's a growing percentage, they'd rather just text each other. And so if a person walks into a business and they're confronted with a stranger, a sales guy, potentially, sales guy comes across a little bit aggressive or feels to them, even though they might be just gentle sales guy, but still that's how the person would feel. Instead, if you provide an opportunity for them to connect with that business through a chat app, that they can just connect and find out information on the products or services they provide, and then, be able to communicate using text, then that is catering to that greater percentage of the population these days, a growing percentage.
So you gave me some of the stats in regards to a few businesses that are doing this. Can you just kind of share what the experience has been for people that are on the platform, on the app right now?
Well, they're loving it.
Yeah.
Primarily because, we've expanded on just what the app does in terms of the connectivity component. That is the fundamental part of the app, as in allowing a person to connect with a business anonymously. But now we've actually gamified it as well, so made it so that it's more interesting for a person to now connect with a business. They can, win things, they can earn things, and so a business has now an opportunity to create this sort of environment that is more attractive for somebody to connect with that business. And people, when it comes to free stuff, they love it. And so this provides that medium, and it's working out really well. People loving it.
Yeah, I love that you gamified it, because I was thinking it earlier. I'm like, okay, if you're cutting out all the connection and I can go into business, do the QR code, where's the interaction and engagement and the games?
Right. Yeah, the game is that. I mean, you can ask a person to connect with your business, and you can tell them that it's going to be private, it's going to be they're not giving you their private details. But then that's one sort of ask that is fine. But then if you improve on that and you say, hey, if you connect with us, you might actually win something for free, then the person goes, oh yeah, now that's more interesting, and so they tend to want to do that. And so, how did I come about to this idea? Well, really, when I was trying to promote the app to get users on board, I found out that Sweepstakes was a really good mechanism to do this, to achieve this, because Sweepstakes is just massive within the US or internationally, actually, but really big in the US. And so people actually just sign up to all sorts of different things just to try their chance at winning something. And so when I launched the sweepstake to try and promote the Itza app, it did extremely well.
Really?
Yeah, we got in like 55,000 users into the app just from about 150,000 flyer drop-off within the San Diego area. And then, because we actually said, okay, well, you can get more entries if you promote the app to friends and family, and it grew to like 78,000 people now, like it's grown even further. So these are all people that are actually using the app for the purpose of a sweepstake. And and that can be organic.
Nice.
Well, organic to some extent. I mean, we're talking that we had to put, make the sweepstake, put a lot of cash in order to make this happen.
Right.
And so that is the attractive component. But then from there, it's actually going organic now. Now people are just referring to friends, family, and it's just growing organically. Yeah.
Congrats. I mean, that's the flyer thing is not easy. And how many flyers?
We dropped off 150,000, but it's still a small number. And the percentage that we got, I mean, everybody was saying, look, you're going to get 1 or 2%. And I was worried that I might not get anything. But ultimately, it seems that when you're offering cash as a giveaway, people are interested.
You're going to get people's attention.
You're going to get people's attention.
See, you're getting branding and marketing. I get it.
Correct.
You're being honest.
Exactly. Well, yeah.
How did you, so let's talk about your journey to San Diego. You're originally not from here.
How did you guess?
I don't know.
Is it my accent?
I know, guys. Like seriously, I'm very intuitive.
Right. So I have a dual accent, and if you're asking, if you just meet me casually and speak in English, you're going to think, well, that accent sounds Australian or South African, or something like that, and you'd be right because it's from Australia, although it's a mix between Australia and New Zealand. But natively, I speak Spanish, and that's because my father's from Argentina, my mom's from Uruguay, and so I grew up in Argentina, but then afterwards moved to New Zealand and Australia, so I grew up in those two places too, and this is my, so if I speak Spanish, it's an Argentinian accent, and if I speak English, it's an Australian accent.
You poor thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you grew up in terrible spots.
Yeah, nobody.
And then you ended up in San Diego.
Yeah, correct. So
can we throw something at you?
Yeah.
That's not, bro. You like New Zealand, Australia. I'm like, okay. Yeah. How long did you live in New Zealand?
So I lived in New Zealand for like 8 years, 9 years, absolutely. It's a nice country, but the weather is not very friendly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very, it rains a lot. It's cold, particularly in the city where I grew up in, which was Wellington, the capital city.
Okay.
And so, I love the heat. And one of the reasons why I ended up in San Diego, actually. And so, but when I was old enough to make my own decisions, I said, okay, I'm going to Australia, which is like a quick jump from New Zealand. And I went to Australia, and Australia was a nice place. And I built my business there, my telecommunications business over there. And but my dream, admittedly, has always been to live in the United States. And so as soon as I had the opportunity, I made the move.
What was the best part about living in New Zealand?
Living in New Zealand, the best part, making friends. Friends was probably one of the best things. Learning a new culture, learning English. I knew no English.
Oh, really? You learned English there?
Yeah, absolutely, because I only spoke Spanish. So learning English and going through as a teenage years, and just whatever teenager years, having fun. The everything is okay, everything's fun, right. But as you get into your 20s, you start to understand that, hey, the opportunities are very limited because it's a very small country and it's quite remote to everything.
Right.
And so, the weather was a major, downer.
You're big on the weather. You're like, I'm out.
Man,
you got the best weather that there is. I mean, it doesn't get any better than the finest city, right?
No, that's right. Absolutely.
Seriously.
Yes.
What led you, so once you left Australia, so you built a business there. How long did you have your business there?
Well, it's still there. And
awesome.
so it's been going for now 20 years. I established it in 2003.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And so we started with voice over IP, eFax, and text messaging. That's what that business does. And so when I came to the United States, I wanted to replicate that same business here. But due to, I don't know, how things are run over here, how the telco sector is run, I realized that, okay, I can't replicate it here, but I have some ideas that I want to try and put in place, and started development of the app, of the Itza app.
Yeah. How long ago did you start? Like, when was the brainchild of the Itza app? When that
Actually, believe it or not, 2012. We began development 12 years ago. Yeah, crazy. So basically, when the BlackBerry platform was on its way.
Been a long time since I heard BlackBerry.
That's right. So when it was dying, at the stage that it was dying, the beauty about the BlackBerry platform was a very secure platform for business. And so there was nothing then that would replace the BlackBerry at that point. There was no other platform. And so we wanted to build an app that would do that. It would offer a cross-platform ability to exchange messages securely. And that's what we were set out to do. But as the years went by, and we were continually adding features to the platform, improving on the platform, we realized, okay, we got to broaden this out and make it more than business, address consumer needs. And ultimately, it was always about a platform that would provide a private mechanism for communication, like a very secure, that's the fundamental part of the Itza app. Mm-hmm. And it actually used to be called SIMP.
SIMP?
Yeah. So
how did you come up with that?
It stood for Secure Instant Messaging Platform.
Oh.
So that was the whole reason for SIMP. And SIMP at the time was a good name to have.
Right.
But then social media turned that around 180 degrees, and now SIMP is seen as a simpleton or a person that is,
I'm going to change this name.
I need to change the name. Exactly. And it was actually not my preference to change it, because it was a major undertaking to change it. But a few people also said, hey, if you don't change the SIMP name, you're going to be in trouble. So I thought, yeah, that makes sense. Let's just go with another name. And the Itza name is a really cool name in itself. And
Tell me, how'd you come up with the name?
Well, our logo has always been a pyramid.
Okay.
And in Mexico, there is a city called Chichen Itza. And so there is a seventh wonder of the world being a pyramid there. And so that combination, there is that pyramid in there, and it looks almost like our pyramid as a logo. And Itza was available as a name. Well, perfect. And it's a nice name too.
Yeah,
it's a nice name.
Got it. It's a nice name. It's a nice name. Yeah. Look at you. And you don't know. We talked about branding. You know branding. Yeah. What's with the pyramid?
The pyramid is just a strength, just a security. They've been around for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, and thousands of years, and so you have something that shows security, strength, longevity. And that was the whole impression that I want to give with the whole app and with the original business, the Traitel business. And hence it's been going for 20 years, and we've always been considered a fairly secure company, never had any issues. And so, yeah, that's the whole purpose of the pyramid. And yeah, Traitel being my last name, it provided a three-sided pyramid originally, but then I went with a four-sided pyramid. But that's how it all started.
Wow, I mean, you're incorporating. I'm like, you incorporating your last name? Okay,
yeah,
all right, I get it.
The original purpose, yeah.
I think you sold yourself short a little bit on the market. Do you see a huge need in the business space for this app? Like, what's missing for most business owners right now? As far as, like, I know you said communication, make it seamless. Like, what problems does this solve for business owners? Some of your clients, I saw a restaurant on there,
yes,
which
absolutely.
I love to give away,
yeah,
because it's more about a value-driven approach, right?
Absolutely. So if we thinking about business, one of the most important things that I say to business owners when I meet them, and I think this is this is important because a lot of businesses don't realize that they have a lot of people coming in, a lot of customers come in, and then they leave, and there's no attachment to those customers. There is a zero connection, and so what happens is you've got this customer base which you could be building up on, and using that customer base for any sort of purpose, either for marketing purposes or whether perhaps you're opening another location and you need a whole bunch of people to market to, and there's no connection at the moment. There's no platform to provide that connection. And again, if you ask for the phone number or the email address, they're going to hesitate. They're not going to like it. But if you say, hey, you can connect with us using this platform, now a business has an ability to make it easy and start to accumulate customers, accumulate connections. And that is one of the major problem solvers that I think this offers. If nobody's in it, nobody starts a business because they want to work forever. They want to start a business.
What are you talking about? I want to work 18 hours a day for minimum wage.
Right, there you go. Exactly. Amazing. It's amazing. Nobody wants to do that in reality, and so you might be the exception.
That was sarcasm.
I know.
I want to work all day and never ever have a life. That's
Correct.
why I became a business owner. Sweet.
Exactly. So you want to make a business, you want to build value of the business, and then hopefully one day either sell it or somebody comes and offers you money because you've become popular enough or for whatever reason. So
because you grew your brand.
Because you grew your brand, to a level. Now you may grow your business to a point that it's profitable, and then you have value for that reason. But many, and the businesses that receive the most money, or many businesses that received a lot of money, have actually been making losses but had a massive customer base. So it wasn't the fact that they were making a lot of money. It was the fact that they had a lot of customers, which another takeover business would come along and say, hey, we're in the same sector. We want to take over your business, but you've got a huge client base and a lot of contacts that we can actually connect with now that we're take over your business. Now, if you don't have any of those contacts, your valuation is lower. So it's important, I think, to have a lot of customers that you can reach. And that is what my platform will offer all those businesses, is an ability to slowly start to get customers that they can actually reach over time. So, and I said to some of the retailers, I said, look, for example, say a spirits place that sells alcohol. People will come into the place, buy, pay, and leave. And I said, look, if you've got a drink company trying to launch a drink through you, they might give you some free samples so that you can offer your customers as they come in. But if you had 2, 3, 4, 5,000 customers that you've connected with over the years, now you can actually demand money for launching this drink. You can say, look, pay me $20,000 for launching a drink because I have 3,000 or 4,000 customers that I can market to. I can send them a message that this new drink is being launched. So now you turn around and you say, hey, no, not only are you getting free product, but now you're actually charging for showing your free product because you've got an audience that's interested in your product that you're selling and the product that you're offering. So I think it's really important to be able to do that.
You're a research junkie, aren't you?
I do.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
I could tell.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in their shoes.
Sure.
Because I was thinking about, I want to be able to position this for business.
Right.
We have a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs that are on here. Mm-hmm. And we talked about permission marketing. And that, this is one of the solutions to permission marketing. When I look at it is if you go to a restaurant, for example, okay, and if they ask me for my contact information, why would I give it to a restaurant? You know what I mean? It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, what? So you can
spam
me? Yeah, exactly. That's all that would happen if I went to a restaurant versus, hey, here's our app. Download it, and they might not have the funds. Like, you have the background to be able to build an app. They don't.
Correct.
Like, if they wanted to build their own app, I don't know what you're looking at. I'm not an app builder, but it's got to be in the thousands and thousands of dollars if you want it to be way more than that.
Oh, yeah, way more.
Well, I don't.
Way more than that.
That's why I have
and it never stops. Here's the thing. When you build an app, it's a never-ending process, money pit. Because both Apple and Google being the two main platforms, they're constantly changing the requirements. And so your app stops if you update your phone, the app basically stops working on your phone because it hasn't been updated to take advantage of the new updates that Apple or Google have put in place. So it's a never stopping thing. It's constantly. So really, but there's another flip side to the argument that you just put there, and that if a restaurant set out to make their own app, right now the restaurant is offering their own app, and that's good and all, but ultimately, some people might say, well, this app is specifically set to contact me and to still annoy me. Like, why would I download another app into my phone? Whereas if that restaurant says, look, this is a separate app to us, this is an app that offers privacy and anonymity to you, and we're using the platform because it's a great platform. You're going to download that app and you're going to be able to use it throughout various different businesses. It's not just us. So the person will see, hey, it's a third-party app. It's not about, the restaurant getting a direct connection with you, that they, and downloading that one unique app that has one sole purpose. No, you're actually downloading an app that you can actually use in other places as well. And so it's probably, people will see it as more comfortable to do this, like downloading WhatsApp, for example. People are comfortable downloading that because it offers an ability to connect with everybody, not just with one location. And so it has that same feeling to download this app than if a restaurant went out on their own, to make their own app.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with regards to the versatility, it's awesome. And I was thinking about, I didn't even think about the maintenance that you have to put on an app and constantly updating it. And Apple is a pain in. I mean, you get it, but they're a pain in the ass from what I've heard.
They are. There's been a lot of curse words over.
Oh, have they?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I'm glad I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah.
Well, and right now, the way I look at it is, if you're a business owner, this is one thing that offline we were talking about branding, personal branding. And I find it interesting because I'll talk to seasoned business owners that have owned their business for 10, 15, 20 years. Could you imagine being an entrepreneur with a brick and mortar for that long? Like, what you're doing.
Right.
Like, you've had to battle with labor costs. Like, they're constantly being bombarded with costs.
Yeah, it's tough.
How are you going to build your own app? Now, all of a sudden, I got to become an app builder?
No.
Or go hire someone, and anyone that's going to design a great app for you is going to charge you.
And no matter, even if they charge you, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 to build the app, you can't stop after the app is done. You got to then hire somebody who and who supports that code base that you've built. And that company might turn around and say, well, now we need to charge you a whole lot of extra money for maintaining that app because we know how it's made and we're the best ones to do it and whatever. It's just a money pit. It's a black hole that you don't want to go into, as an individual business to try and make your own app. Now, if you're Starbucks, sure, it makes sense. If you're a multinational, it makes sense. But if you're a company, even a chain, but a small chain, it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's a no. I mean, the way you described it to me now, it's like a no-brainer because it's like, what do you got to lose?
Correct.
You know what I mean? You don't have anything to lose. It's not like you're going to get less business by offering your people, your consumers, an option to be able to connect with you.
That's right.
With permission marketing. Exactly. What do you got to lose?
You don't lose anything. On the contrary, you win because as a consumer, now you've got an opportunity to get offers from this restaurant that you like, because that's what the restaurant is going to do. They're going to send you, incentives, things where you're going to save money. And, the restaurant has that ability to do that, to contact people during their quiet times. They know what days are quiet, what hours are quiet. Maybe they can do special offers to bring those people in during those hours.
Okay.
And so they can fill, they can understand and use that to their advantage. Yeah, absolutely. That's the whole thing.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's early on. I know we had talked about this. I'm just looking at, why would any business owner tell you no?
I had that conversation before coming here.
Oh, really?
Yes, with a guy. Yes, that's exactly. So this guy has got a gelato chain, and the guy got it right away. He understood the whole reason for actually joining the app, for actually getting it. But he said, you know what? I believe that you probably meet a lot of people that say, look, I don't understand why I would want to join this. I'm not comfortable. I think that, and I said, look, I went to a dental practice. the guy was interested in the app. He understood the benefits, and then he said, "How much?" And I said, "It's free, because we're offering it free right now to just bring businesses on board, just making it easy as possible so that a business can join the platform, start using it, start benefiting from it without questioning, like they have to start paying. We want to make it easy." And the guy said, "Oh, well, when somebody says free to me, that's raises red alarm bells, red flags." And I said, "Well, why? It's genuinely free. You don't have to. There's no contracts or commitments. Now you can enjoy a platform that's going to bring you more business with no downsides. And if you don't like it, if you're not enjoying what it brings you, you can just cancel it, and that's it. You can move on. It didn't work for you, but it's going to bring you business." So, and this guy at the gelato place, I mean, he completely, it's like he knew, he must have been in similar situations and understood that a lot of business owners don't see the benefit of marketing or taking advantage of new tools in order to grow their business. And he said to me an example. He says, "These businesses, it's like they have they've got enough customers for their business, so they're selling and they've got enough business, but then they're still complaining that that their times are no good, that business is no good." And so he's saying to me, "Look, I don't understand why they do that when they really, if they market, if they get more customers, then if they were to double the customer base, they would double the production of the business, bring more money, and it would still be, now times would be good. And they would be able to cater for that growing customer base by doubling their production, or whatever, increasing the production." So the fact that they're fine now and selling what they have, or they've got enough customers for what they're doing, but they're still complaining, then that means that they're not getting enough customers for what they're offering. They need more customers, but it's some business owners don't understand that component, that they need to market, that they need to put money out there in order to bring more business, and this is very important. This will provide that.
So I just want to recap. So the conversation with this business owner was, he just didn't, like, they're already doing fine.
No, this guy understood, and he was ready to take the platform up.
Okay,
he understood it, but he himself pointed out how he said, "I'm sure you encountered a lot of business say no."
Yeah,
and
he says, brought up the same point.
He brought up the point to me, right? Because and I said, "Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how you know that." And I guess it was a relatively young guy in his mid-20s, early 30s, and so he understands marketing. He understands social media. He understands that, but he also understood that a lot of businesses will probably say no simply because they don't understand the benefit that a technology or a marketing platform can bring to the business. And I was just blown away by his intuitiveness. His understanding.
I'm not blown away. I'm not blown away at all.
No, because it makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely.
Because we're so okay. So the innovative entrepreneurs, the ones that are constantly looking for opportunity, those are the ones that are open-minded.
Right.
And the way I look at it is this. When I was talking to you about personal branding, I'll bring up personal brand, to a business owner. I'll be like, "Hey, I went to YouTube. I looked up your name. I didn't find anything."
Right.
You've been in business for 25 years.
Terrible.
I didn't. Well, I don't. Non-existent is not. It's not even terrible. It's not my place to judge.
Right.
But it's non-existent.
Right.
Like, how can I go look up someone that's been in? I'm going to say this out loud. Just think about this. Close your eyes. You've been in your community for 25 years. Mm-hmm. You go to YouTube. Everyone goes to YouTube.
Sure.
If you need to go look up something, you go to YouTube. You're dying. You're like. And you don't find it. No podcast, no content, no commercial,
no Instagram,
innovation.
Zero Instagram.
Can I give you a tip? I'll give you a personal tip.
Sure.
This is what I tell most people that don't want to grow a personal brand. You know all the people that you judge in your industry that you laugh at? that they don't have the skill set or the experience that you do.
I don't know if anybody,
but they're
sure.
well. I'm not talking about you. I'm
The person that is.
I'm talking about the business owner, because the business owners are some in real estate. I'll talk about my industry.
Yeah,
I have a lot of people that get frustrated with new people that are coming on board, leveraging social media to get in front of people, and they don't have the experience, they don't have the knowledge, they just don't. They're learning. It's going to be a while before they're experts. Some are great because they do the work, they get in the reps, and some are just great at social media. If as a business owner, I don't go out there and create content and do innovation and get the app, what's going to happen is all the people that are great at marketing, they're going to take away all my clients.
Sure, absolutely.
All of them.
Yeah.
Because they're marketing with what people want to see today. Like nobody goes, do you watch TV?
I don't.
Okay, awesome. So, like,
but I still am active on the internet. And
You are.
And if you want to know anything about a business, you gotta get some info and places that you're custom with: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, X or whatever, and all these places where you can understand, a deeper meaning of the business. What they're thinking, how they're treating the customers. All of that component is in there.
Right. And how many business owners do you talk to that are going and studying their competition and saying, hey, they're doing this better, let me get better? Very few. Very few.
Yes.
And so amplifying, the way I look at it, being on podcasts, going out on social media and really, really sharing with people what problems need to be solved is it's not that difficult. Like there's tools out there, but you got to constantly go get better because other business owners are getting better.
Oh yeah, and they're just getting your customers.
Bingo.
Yeah, that's it.
Bingo. Like and I don't see how you say no. Like there's no cost.
With this, there's no cost. Zero.
I don't get that. Like I don't understand how you get any objection.
Correct.
It's hilarious to me.
Yeah.
Like what do you got to lose?
Yeah, nothing. As a business, you got nothing to lose except maybe 10 minutes of your time.
So why are you being so nice?
Well, ultimately, it's, we're in it to make a profit down the road, and we're going to be charging $30 a month, eventually. But the objective is to bring people on board and put as little hurdles as possible for them to come on board. And everybody's a little skeptical at the start. Everybody thinks, is this going to work for me or not? But hey, if it's free, you try it, and if it works, great. Eventually, you're happy to pay. And if it doesn't work, then you didn't lose anything. You just gained potentially because something will come. But so as a business, you've got no reason not to try a new platform, not to at least create an Instagram, an Instagram profile and upload some pictures, because it takes you 5 minutes, and then people will be able to see those and understand a little bit more about your business. And this platform gives an ability to connect with every person that's coming through your door. And all you have to do to connect with that person is, as they come through your door and they're looking at something that you're selling or whatever service, say, look, just scan this, you'll connect with us. It's anonymous, it's private, and you're going to get all the information you want about us, and you'll be able to ask us questions. We'll be able to give you answers all on your own time, easily. And, if you don't like us, you can just delete the conversation, and we'll never be able to get in touch with you again because we don't have your private details.
Ellie, how can they not like you? If they don't like you, I'm going to block them. Nice.
Block them, please. So, really getting great results when presenting this to businesses. But some people are a little bit close-minded, and that's what it comes down to. Everybody's different, and that's what it really is,
Yeah. Are you getting? Are you getting? So you said that business owner for the gelato place was fairly young. Right?
Yeah. So he was mid-20s, early 30s. But he was all in. I mean, he was all in because he understood. He said, "Look, I'm going to get customers from this, and what am I losing? Nothing. And so let's sign up." And he signed up, and he's got like 3 or 4 different gelato places. They're all going to come on board. And so it just made sense. But it was him who brought up, you must find it a little bit tough with some business people. And so we had a conversation exactly like we just went over right now.
Yeah, it's just talking about this. It's so funny to me how rigid we are when
skeptical. we're skeptical people. We're skeptical. Human beings are skeptical about things. We're doubtful. We've been burnt many times over the years. We think that, hey, things are going to be, there's a trick to it. That's what goes in the mind of everybody.
Yes, I agree that the trick to it. Here's the thing, though. When you're going into these businesses yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like it's you.
It is me. And
that's so funny. Do you know what I mean? If I talk to you for 5 minutes, I know you're not selling me.
Right.
You're just bringing value. So I disagree with that because we've interacted a few times. I've never felt like you're pitch fest.
No, I'm basically going in and saying, look, do you want to get more customers to your business? And it's going to cost you nothing because we're paying for all the marketing material. We're paying for all the outreach that we're doing. If we're going to do radio, we're going to do TV, we're going to send flyers, we're going to do all these different things. Yeah. You just got to come on board and be part of the platform and start to see more customers. And that's it. So this is what we're offering, and zero cost. I say, there's no trick to it, no contract, no commitment. You can join today, cancel tomorrow, no problem. But you are going to start to see value from this. That's the pitch.
If I was a business, I'm just going to talk out loud here. So I think one of the places that I saw was a Euro Place.
Right.
Right?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
So if I'm that business owner, I'm just running a free Euro every single week.
Right. Correct.
I'm just saying that's 52. You figure that's going to cost them $10. Let's say it costs them $10 a week. Probably doesn't cost them $10 to make that. Let's say it costs $5, whatever.
Right. Sure.
But do you want to win? Do you want to win a free Euro?
Sure.
All the employees. That's
each one of those people that are scanning that code, they're connecting with this Greek place. So he's growing his customer base and giving a Euro away just as an incentive, and that's it. And people like to try because it's exciting. Hey, I might win something, and then and they're connecting with that business, and that's what they're getting. They're going to a connection.
Yeah, and so if I download the app, I don't have to pay for the app. It's the business that pays for the app, right?
No, the business doesn't pay either for the app.
Oh, not right now.
They just pay a flat fee of $30.
Okay.
To be part of the system. And that's it.
So if I download the app as a consumer, though, they're not. It's a free app for them, and if they want to be on the platform, they're just paying $30 a month.
That's it. After 12 months of trying.
I mean, come on. You'll be raising those prices. Like, there has to be. Because that's crazy.
No, $30 is going to be
really
it. Absolutely. Yeah.
Man, you have no intention. You're a good guy.
No, it's not. When you're talking numbers, a great deal of numbers, then $30 is going to make it's going to be enough to cover costs. So, but you don't want to make it too high because then business is going to be hesitant. Yeah, you want to make it $25, $30, and $30 I think is a good price range.
Well, I'm with you. You're offering a lot of value. He's nice. I would increase that. I'd be like, hey, entry level for 3 months is $30. And then because it's really cool. Like I incorporate technology into my business. Mm-hmm. You could post videos and stuff into the app.
Some of the companies have come on board.
Yeah.
Right. I've contacted them afterwards.
Okay.
And I said, did you start to get customers?
Yeah.
And he says, yeah, but they're bots, right? I said, because I'm getting Mary and I'm getting some John and I'm getting all this. I said, these are not bots. These are real people that are connecting with you.
Right.
And he says, really? And I said, there's no bots in this business, in this system. There's all real people that have actually scanned your QR code and are actually connecting with your business. You can actually reach them in time and offer them whatever you want to offer them. And he actually thought it was bot because there was quite a few coming in. They started to come into connecting with the business. LA Fitness came on board. And
nice.
Yes, LA Fitness.
There you go.
So it's a big national company.
Yeah.
And so
congrats, man.
And it was that guy that was getting a lot of people, scanning, and he was skeptical. And I said, no, they're all real, all real people that are connecting with you guys. And you can offer them whatever you want from here on. And there's no bots.
Bro, this is a genius idea. I was just thinking to myself, I mean, I know we had talked before, but now that I'm sitting back and thinking about I'm not, if I'm a small business owner and I owe 2 or 3 franchises, I can't go start my own app. It's not realistic.
No, it's not realistic.
It just isn't. And you have a background in the space though.
I've been in technology all my life since 12. So
I don't
fixing
like you.
computers.
I can't do that stuff, man.
Right.
Oh, you fixing computers?
Yeah, it used to be hardware. And all that. I set up
I'm so jealous of you guys. Seriously, you guys.
well,
and
what
your
you do is pretty
technology.
good. So you stick to that and you'll continue.
I'll just call you.
Right,
I'll
yeah.
call you
For
and
anything
say,
IT
hey guys,
stuff, call me up.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. We'll do
Absolutely.
that, and then I'll promote.
And you promote a perfect
it's a-
connection. Yes.
It's an
Yes.
app.
It's an app. Exactly.
I love it.
So basically, I set up the first mobile repair business in New Zealand. That's what was my first business. I had a van with all the hardware kitted out inside. I would go around businesses, fix the computers. That was my first business at 16 when I was first.
At 16?
At 16, yeah.
You have
and then
been
from
an
there, so I've been in
entrepreneur.
technology all my life, and obviously moved to telecommunications, and now apps and stuff like that.
What do you love about entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship is a fun thing, and just as much as it's fun is not fun at the same time. But when you focus on something that you love and you're growing it, and you see that growth, and you're the captain of that growth, it's just a lot of fun, rather than following somebody else's ship. This is your own ship. So entrepreneur is a fun thing, but it has its downsides, as any entrepreneur knows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
all glory,
It's
all wins, all W's.
Not all wins.
There's no losses.
Correct.
Ever.
Exactly. Ever. And so if you've got that mindset of entrepreneurship, it's a lot of fun, but you have to be able to ignore all the difficulties or overcome those without letting them, hold you down. You just got to have the eye set on the prize.
Oh, you have a laser focus. I could see.
I am.
So, Ellie, here's a question for you. Since you've started multiple, businesses, what's gotten you prepared for this opportunity? Like, what is it that you're going to do different with ITSA, having started so many businesses? What's the one different thing that you're doing with this than any other company that you've started before?
Look, every company that I started with a lot of passion and a lot of commitment, and every company has done well that I've had during my time, and served its purpose, right? It's served either a purpose of keeping me alive and or teaching me something new, and so. As you progress, you learn more through those businesses, but the commitment and the focus and the interest is the same no matter what new business you start. And that is what I've applied to it. So now what I've gained is experience. And so now I have applied all of that experience into this new technology, better understanding what people need, better understanding the technology itself, and able to make it better than previous projects. So, I'm not going to say that some of the other projects lacked something because when I started those, I did them exactly the same way as I'm starting this one, with just as much interest or passion. So what I'm bringing to this is just all of that combination and applying it to this new technology, to this new venture. And so I believe it's better than everything else that I've done.
And you know what the cool thing is? Like, this is such a national product. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's actually
chat
one
about
of the,
that. Yeah,
sure. So I've done other projects that have been more segmented, I have a project that is more hardware based, that I started an IoT product, and that IoT product being more hardware based had its complications to build because it's more physical interaction to make, whereas this is digital. So this can grow very quickly, being a digital, like an Uber, like a Facebook, like an X or whatever.
Oh, I
being
like
digital.
that. Look at you.
That's
All right.
the vision. That's the vision. Absolutely.
Hey, it requires vision to get shit done.
Absolutely. And so being digital, it allows you to scale very quickly. And this is one of the things that I like about this project, what I like about this app, that it will allow for that growth to happen quickly, either slowly or quickly, whatever it demands. It can scale at that pace without any, difficulties.
With the intensity that you're tackling this, I would be shocked if you don't get traction quickly, because the nose goes on are you. Like, I just saw what you're like, oh, whatever. Like,
I agree.
Next.
I'm going at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, you are.
And it's just growing. The app is growing. The growth that I got from the user base is insane. I never expected that at all. But
really?
People I didn't know.
Whoa.
Right.
Go back to that. What do you mean you didn't expect that? What do you mean?
When I started the sweepstake and I created this, I didn't know that I was going to succeed to that point. I was going to, I figured, okay, people are going to like cash, giveaway or whatever, but I didn't know that 55,000 people would eventually sign up. And so they did. And if you look at the app stores, both for Google and Apple, 5-star rated, thousands and thousands of downloads showing in there. So that's all from that component. Now, I didn't know. I had no clue. Because when I launched the app, and that's just a month and a half ago, after building it, for years and years and years, building up all to this moment, it was, okay, do I approach businesses first or do I try and get consumers on board? And the thing is, if I went to businesses with no consumers, it's a tougher sale. And so I thought, okay, I got to instead think about bringing consumers first. How do I attract consumers? And that's how I came up with the sweepstake idea. And so after that success, okay, now I got to bring businesses. Let's go and meet up with a whole bunch of business owners and see what they like, what they think.
Okay.
And the results and the response was really, really positive. And that's how it's growing, That's how it's growing. Now, national chain like LA Fitness on board. Not the whole chain is on board. We got a portion of it, but that hopefully will grow from there. Talking to another national chains as well. Hopefully they'll come on board. And so, I'm doing the best I can.
Oh, I've seen you 3 times in the past week. He's here, folks. He's branding. From a marketing perspective, do you enjoy marketing?
I do.
You do?
I mean, marketing is essential, right? It's an essential thing to any business. If you want people to know you got to market. In fact, part of the conversation that from this previous gelato guy that came up, and that was a discussion on something based on what he was going to give free. Because we have that instant win game within the platform that it's really taking off. That's really what's been the main driver these days of business coming on board, the instant win game. And so you got to offer something free to get a whole bunch of people connected to your company. That's part of the whole game. And so he wanted to offer something around the $10 mark. And I said, try and go a little bit higher. And then I explained to him why. I said, you want to offer something that people are really going to like. They're going to be interested enough to come to your business and try your gelato.
Yeah.
If it's too cheap, if you're offering something too cheap, they might not want to come and try. Now, your product is amazing, according to what you told me. And his setup was beautiful. All people have to do is try it, to then fall in love with the product, and then they'll be your customer forever. But you got to make it attractive enough for them to want to drive from the other side of the city and come and try your product when they win. And so I said, look, when I started my telecommunications company in Australia, it was in 2003, and Google was brand new in Australia. They just started in 2002, right? And so Google was new, but I understood that Google was a way forward. And in 2004, I started spending practically all my profits towards Google marketing. And I ended up spending about $120,000 a year on Google.
Okay, Gary Vaynerchuk.
I used to get their gifts and invitation to events.
Okay.
Like I was some special kingpin or whatever, and I didn't know. I was just spending all my money towards them. But I later realized that I funded their operation, or part of me funded their growth in Australia. Because I don't know, I don't think a lot of businesses came on board at that point. They were still brand new. But that investment into Google AdWords is what grew my company into what it is now, a profitable company. All the customers came in from that investment, and that was all marketing. So marketing is very important. And I said to this guy, I said, if you make your offering a little bit higher, that is your marketing. You're offering your product for people to try it, to taste it, and then people fall in love with it and keep coming. So I got him up.
Well, and it's such a better way. Okay. It's such a better way to do that. Give away something of let's say $30, $40 or $50 value than running ads.
Sure, absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Because if you're making pizzas and you're offering pizzas, people are getting to try your pizza and going, hey, this is a really good pizza.
You better have good pizza.
Yeah, you better have good pizza. And if you do, people will come back and order more pizzas from then on.
Oh, Ellie, I got a thing too. Because if you're giving away your shit and people aren't coming back, that tells you gotta
change your recipe.
Bam.
Exactly.
I like this. Look
Correct.
at you.
So it's a way to gauge what you're offering. Even if whether you're starting a business or you're an existing business, if you're giving something away free and people are taking it and not returning for it, well, that's a problem. So but if you give something free and people like it, and obviously they will most of the time, because if you're in business, you're doing something that people like, then you've just given them a piece of your brand, something of what you're offering, and then they come back for more.
Get it?
That's the idea.
Get it?
So this app and this instant win component of the app that is really taking off is just an excellent way to show what your business does and what it offers, and to give a taste of what it does. Whether you're a business in restaurant or you're in selling mattresses, somebody comes to your place as you're giving something free, but they lay on one of your mattresses and go, "Oh, this is a really beautiful mattress. I want to buy a mattress now. My mattress is no good." That's the same thing.
Why do restaurants do happy hour? You know what I mean? It's the same exact thing. You do it so like people come in and you get an opportunity to connect.
Exactly.
And not sell.
To feel the ambience, to feel the way that you're being served, and a little bit of that food or drink, and then, oh, I like this, I'm going to come back. And that's what you want. You want people through your door, whether it's they're coming in to pay or whether you've lured them in with something, but that person more than likely will return, and that's what you want.
Well, even if you got a free product and your free product is bomb and you're confident in your bomb, they're going to come back. You know what I mean? They tried it once. If they like it, they're going to come back.
Exactly. That's the whole objective, yeah.
Is there anything on the market is there anything in the App Store or the Google, what do they call it? The Google App Store?
Play Store.
Okay, Play Store.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I had an Android. With the Play Store, is there anything that's close to Itza?
I don't believe there is. We actually, first of all, we patented a significant component of the Itza app and its mechanism. So if we are able to patent that, then there's obviously nothing else out there that is similar. But obviously there is chat apps. Apps that offer chat, and there is Instagram where you can see a company's videos and photos. But this is a combination of things that the moment that you scan the QR code, instantly the brochure of the business comes down to the app, and now you're connected with the business anonymously. So there's really nothing that provides the whole complete offering. Like instantly you connect with the business, instantly you get all that the business want you to see. If you're a realtor, because you are a realtor, for example, if somebody goes and looks at a sign and they see their house from the outside, they're not really understanding what's on the inside of the house. But if you give them an opportunity to connect with you by scanning a QR code, and they get to see all the inside of the house and the nice pictures you've taken, all in the app, nice in a neat way there, and instantly you connected with them and able to chat with them, then that is you've covered a whole lot of steps, rather than having to, open the door to for the person to see the house, or for them to go to a website and find that house. And I know that there is ways these days that you can put a QR code and the person can scan that QR code and see the property on a web page. But then people leave that web page a few days later, and what was that house that I looked at 3 or 4 days ago that I'm now in the right frame of mind to look at, but I can no longer find it on my web page because I've been looking at a lot of different properties. That one's gone.
Yeah.
But if it's in an app and you're able to just open the app and see all the photos that were of the property, and now they're able to ask you, hey, will these guys take an offer for the property, or can we go for a tour of the property? And you'll reply the next day, or whenever you've got their message, and say, yeah, let's make an appointment to show you the property. It's that instant connection with the person or, with the business that is really important.
Yeah, I think it's really just a cool way of connecting with people without being intrusive.
Exactly. So you're making it easy for them to connect with you, to get those details. And then that person that's looking at that property, you got to keep in mind that you now as a business, you can send them details of new properties that might come up, right? So you have access to send them now. The type of property. So, for example, if they scan a QR code at a open land, like a lot, with no property, you kind of got an idea that they're looking to develop something rather than buy already something made. So when a new lot comes up, you send them information on that lot and they'll probably be interested to read that. So you understanding based on the QR codes that they're scanning and based on what they scanned, what that person's interest is.
Yeah.
And you can then market based on those interests. So if a person goes into a furniture store and they're just looking at beds, not really a lounge or lamps, now you know that they're shopping for a bed and you can send them more information on a bed. And maybe in a month from now, you might think, okay, well, maybe they haven't bought a bed yet. Let's send them a special on our new beds that are coming in. And that person will likely be interested because that's what they were in the market for.
Can you in the app, can you mass market, or do you have to do it?
No, you can do mass market,
Beautiful.
absolutely. So every single contact that connects with the business, there is a broadcast tool. You click them all, you click a section of them, and you can send a message to all of them, like an offer, and
efficiency matters.
Absolutely. So you're a pizza store or you're a restaurant, like, for example, Eggies or Breakfast Republic. They're a restaurant that might come on board and say they're opening restaurants all the time. So they can either open up a restaurant and try and market a lot heavily for that restaurant to a new audience wherever they open the restaurant, or they can collect customers in all their other restaurants right through the Itza platform. And when they open a new location, now they've got like 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people to market to bring into that new restaurant. So people can understand, hey, there's a new restaurant, bring friends and family from that location to that restaurant, rather than have to spend money on marketing because they don't have people to market to already.
Yeah.
They don't have a contacts. And this is what it can provide for business.
And because you have permission marketing, I mean, people aren't going to get spammed, so they're more likely.
They're looking to get more on food.
Yeah.
And it's not going to go to their spam folder like email does, or it's not going to come as a spam call on their mobile phone or a text looking like spam, not be delivered. Because even these days, you try and text people, 10 or 20 people at once.
Yeah.
And many of those are not going to get that text message. Why? Because the telecommunications carrier sees that you're sending a mass broadcast and they don't like you to do that. So they'll want to deliver those text messages to your customers.
Are you bringing that up to business owners? I mean,
It's tough to bring up every point, but every so often when it comes up, it's very important point that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of restaurants say, give me your number. Fine. Yep. You give them the number for the appointment, for a table to become available. But they can't use that number to market to afterwards, because the moment that they start marketing, the filters that are with the carriers these days, they block it straight away.
Yeah.
Right. So therefore, you might have 100 or 1,000 mobile numbers that you've collected, but you can't send them a message to unless you pay quite a bit of money for a unique number, and you hook up with a company that sends through that unique number text messages. So it's got to be a unique platform that you pay for. You can't just send them a text message from a mobile phone. You might even have dedicated for this, because the carriers will block it. Simply because the spam laws are so strict, you can't reach your customer base that way anymore. But with the Itza app, it's free. You can reach all those people without any issues.
It's and soon enough, I mean, the spam rules are getting just more and more strict. You got to figure out
absolutely.
Yeah, you got to figure out a way to maneuver around it, because you'll get blocked.
Yeah, correct, exactly. And so, you got to have a way to reach people. You got to market. You got to be able to grow. And this platform lets you do that, And also very important that I point out to a lot of businesses that are in retail, you've got Yelp to contend with. And a lot of businesses don't like Yelp. It's not a platform that business actually like. They have to comply with Yelp because Yelp is there, but they don't actually like Yelp.
Yelp. I think Yelp is one of the best monopolies that there is, because once they have you,
you've got no choice. Yeah. And here is the thing: how with the Itza app you can actually work around Yelp, because really, if you are any sort of business and providing a service or a product or anything, if the person doesn't get the experience they expected, you might have provided a great service, but that person is not happy with whatever you gave, the first place they'll complain at is Yelp. Right, because they don't feel confident enough to complain to the business and say, hey, I'm not happy with the way you've treated me or whatever. But Itza actually provides a bridge. So it actually lets the person connect with that business. And then when they leave the business, say, listen, I'm not happy with the way the food came, or the server looked at me funny, or, you didn't come fast enough to
It's
tell me.
anonymous.
So it's anonymous. And so the person shares their feelings with the business. And if the business is smart, they'll reply to that message and say, look, we're really sorry about this, but let us take care of you. We're going to give you a discount, and we're going to give you some free. Come back. We really promise we're going to look after you. It was just a bad time for us. The person now is happy, is comfortable, because they're being looked after, and that's all they want to do. They want to be able to vent and to be looked after. And so now they no longer have to go to Yelp. Now they've avoided Yelp because they've got an opportunity now to be looked after. And so this I think, Itza takes care of that as well.
Well, congratulations on your 12-year project. I love your passion. It's you are
a little slow, but as long as you get
slow. There, I'm like, if you go any faster, I'm not gonna freaking see you.
No, I know. Now it's fast, but it was a little slow. 12 years to get to this point.
Oh, the 12 years was slow.
For technology, it's crazy slow.
Yeah.
And I wish we'd done it faster, but sometimes they say good things take time, and this is one of those.
They do. This is a great thing.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So how was your first podcast?
Awesome. Amazing. Yeah, really enjoy it. This is first podcast. So yeah, for me.
You did great. I don't think anybody could tell that was your first podcast.
Right.
You're a natural star.
Oh, there you go.
Just being born.
Yeah, well, hopefully more podcasts will come along as time goes by. It's an important thing to have,
Let's chat about this. Ellie, if I were you, and being a podcast host, which I am, I would be all over podcasts right now.
Right.
Yep. Every San Diego podcast here, you're showing innovation to business owners on how they can do permission marketing and connect with their consumers.
Mm-hmm.
I think mass scale, this is what business owners need to understand. So if I own a business and I have 3 or 4 locations and I want employees, I want culture, whatever I want, go on podcasts. Right. Go do it. It's the easiest way to scale your message.
Sure.
Would you rather go and talk to 5 business owners?
Or just create one podcast that 5 business owners can see?
Well, then you leverage that and put it. See, I look at content multipliers. So you're going out there and you're like, hey, if I go and get the consumers, now all of a sudden we have an audience, these business owners. So I love the fact that you're doing this because it's about mass scale. Like, how do I get this message out there?
Look, I mean, it's how to get there the quickest, take the shortest path. And so, when you create a video, an explainer video, it means that now, rather than you having to explain to every single person how something works or operates or how they got to sign up or whatever, they look at the video and they get all the information from there. You only have to do that video once.
See?
And so it's the same thing with a podcast or any other sort of material that you put out there for your customers or, even your staff. If you try to explain something to your staff, you make a video. It makes more sense.
And you're
podcast is a lot of
you're
sense.
A cool engineer. See, you get the whole branding and marketing. Like we'll let you blossom.
Thank you.
Ellie,
Appreciate it.